welcome back to Arizona Lifestyles with Holly Waxman. We are talking about real estate for buyers, sellers, and dreamers, and I'm with 72 Sold. And I'm so lucky to introduce today Julie. Julie, who's here, is one of the top influencers here in Scottsdale. Welcome, Julie.
Thank you so much. And now real estate agent, add that to the list of things that I do, right?
Right. Fashionista, exercise.
Pretty much.
Right.
But, I think, as we're both getting older, we're not. Our kids are getting older, we're getting younger. But,
Right.
you keep, hopefully we keep growing and trying to do new things. And so that's kind of what happened, right? I, have all these things that I love to do, but I'm like, okay, what's next? What's next for my career? And why not add real estate? Scottsdale's a great place to be in real estate.
Absolutely. And I love would love to work with you more.
Yeah.
Having my 20 years experience and then having Julie's energy and insights on trends is always great.
And I don't know if you know this too, but my entire family is in real estate. Of course, my boys, which Brittany knows my boys, but even my parents, my ex-husband. So it is like through osmosis, I've been doing real estate my entire life. So it's new and it's not new all at the same time.
Yeah,
Exactly.
But I think even bebeing
Welcome,
new,
Britney Waxman, my listing partner and daughter.
yeah, I think even being new, it's like it's almost nice because you bring the new
put this
energy. Oh, I have to put it on.
No, I'll just hold it because we'll go back and forth. I just want to make sure you get mic'd for.
Oh, the live. But I think even with the new energy, a lot of it, it's almost like people see that as it's the new energy, and we know the new tricks and tips, and then as well as the experienced energy that's been here for a long time. It's good to have like a commingle of both.
I totally agree.
And bring it into one, because the new energy, it's like there, let's get in front of it, let's do it. Rather than the experience energy is like, how do I get more money here? I know there's a few different ways.
I don't know. And also being experienced, my passion has changed. Right now, I'm really thrilled to be able to teach and help my daughter become more successful, because without experience and a reputation, especially now in this market, since it's changing, you need to know the knowledge, because, in many cities we have attorneys. Here we don't have attorneys. So and real estate is some of their biggest investments. So you need to have experience, plus energy is good, but you need to have experience. And as you change, and since I've been doing it and I've done very well, thank goodness, my passion is to help people and to help Brittany be able to have more opportunities.
Okay, but here's the question. Now I'm going to play the interviewer. Brittany, I know I can't work with my daughter or any of my children for that matter. So how difficult is it trying to take advice and her ideas and implement them? How tough is that?
I think it's never, I never want to say it's difficult. I'm going to change it to positive. It's a really good positive thing, because, it's nice to take that in. And, my mom versus anyone else could say it to me very real. And if someone else said it to me very real, I would almost hurt my feelings, and words do hurt, as much as I hate to say it. I wish they didn't sometimes. But if the way my mom says it, I know she means from love, from energy. She's known, of course, been with me and has supported me my whole life. And so I don't think it's difficult. I think it's more just seeing where I can challenge myself to change, challenge myself to think differently. And, but no, there is definitely tough moments, and those tough moments I do learn the most, and where I need to learn from them, as much as I don't want to. I need to learn from them. Ooh.
I feel like this is going to be a real bonding moment today for the two of you. I love that. That's awesome.
Thanks, Brittany.
Yeah.
And one thing my kids do know is I do love them, and I love them both. I have a son as well. And I would give my eyeballs for my kids, and I always have their back. So,
but of course, as mom, we see how hard life is. We've been through it. And so, of course, we look through it, through our eyeballs differently than a 23-year-old. We know a little bit more. And the one thing I've learned with my mom, and I know you lost yours a few years ago, There was a point where I thought everything my mom said was like from God's mouth to her ears. If she said it, it was right. And then I learned she doesn't know what she's talking about. She's just shooting from the hip like we all are. Because then I became a mom and I was like, I don't know, my kids are struggling and I'm just like trying to make stuff up, right? But then I figured out, so there went through that period where I was like, don't talk to me, Mom. You don't know what you're talking about. Then I realized the only thing that we have in life is experience. And we've experienced a lot more than you've experienced.
Yeah.
So not to take away from your experience and that you have a brain and you're smart and you're doing the right things, but that the fact of the matter is that only time and experience can really teach you right and wrong. Would you agree with that?
Right, absolutely. And we're lucky enough to have Adam Dahlberg join us. He's one of my listing.
Well, hello. Thanks for joining. Come on in.
So, Julie, share with us some of your favorite aspects of what you love being an
In real estate.
influencer.
Oh, an influencer. Well, I really love, with a passion, I love promoting businesses and showing off businesses that are great in the community. It's so difficult to know where to go. You know, there's an aesthetics place on every corner. There's a different workout. There's a different gym. There's a different hairstylist. It gets really confusing. There's 5 million dentists, 5 million chiropractors. And all of these people are trying to get the word out about them. And, unfortunately, I feel like for doctors, they go through all this schooling and all of this work, and then they hang the shingle on their office and they're like, okay, I'm open. Come on in. Well, how's anybody supposed to find them? And so that's kind of what I do is I seek out amazing people, amazing businesses, and I feature them. And I don't promote anybody that I haven't done work with. So if I've done it with them, that you can trust that you're going to be okay with them as well. And I truly just love helping these businesses so much. That's just really been my passion. It's never been about money. It's always just been about how do I showcase these people? And it's just who I am. It's always been that way. If I love something, I will shout it from the rooftop. And of course, if I don't love something, I might shout that from the rooftop as well.
Right. Well, you're amazing, and I'm
Thanks.
really lucky that I have you in my life. Brittany, what do you have to say with the different?
I think that's really special that you do that. That's amazing. And something for us is like, I can speak for me is like, it's always good to work for money. I think that's always like, you can ask the cherry on top. That's the cherry on top, of course. But knowing that you're doing it out of the love of your heart is really special.
Well, and they say, and I feel like this is even in real estate too, if you continue to work for people in a way that truly helps them and you are honest and authentic in your work in real estate or my work as an influencer, if you're doing it from your heart with authenticity and love, it's going to come back to you. People will, you haven't, and this is kind of what we said before you started, is that success doesn't happen by accident. There is some luck to it. You could fall into something that is just extremely lucky, but typically it's through hard work, through authenticity, through honesty, which is authenticity. I think it circles back with having, best intentions for people. If you sell somebody a house that you truly know is not right for them, just to get the job done, it's not going to circle back to you. Same thing working in retail. If you sell an outfit to somebody that fits them horribly, but they really have their mindset on it and they leave with it and then they don't feel good in it, are they going to come back to shop with you? No. Are they going to come back to buy a house with you if they wind up in a house that they're like, I absolutely hate this house. I hate the location. She told me I was going to love it. This is horrible. They don't trust you. You lose the trust and you lose the business.
Right. I agree. And,
Isn't ultimately this whole thing come down to the golden rule, right? Isn't this where we learned back in kindergarten? Just do right unto others, and life will prosper for you. There's so much negotiation and manipulation out in the business world. Doesn't matter what subject we're talking about: real estate, retail, politics, whatever. There's so much spin in the world today that ultimately just comes down to being a beautiful human and treating your friends and your neighbors the way that that's right in life. And I think we lose a lot of that by trying to gain popularity and, trying to be influential in our lives, either personally or on social media, that if you just smile every day and you fill somebody's bucket with love and you're a good person, you're a magnet to folks, and people want to be around people that make them feel good. There's a lot of stress and hardship in the world today, and people like to express that thinking that there's sympathy. If you had a hard day at the office, you come home and you dump on your wife, you dump on your kids, you dump on social media how hard you've had it. Well, you're attracting that to your life. You're attracting that to make your life surrounded by negativity. But if you can look up every day and say, hey, look, I woke up today, the sun is shining. There's a lot of crazy things going on in the world, whether it's, the economy and interest rates, if you're in real estate, things going on in Israel and wars and all this stuff that it's so third circle, you can't control it. It's nothing that you need to really focus on as far as who you are as a person. But if you wake up every day and go, I'm alive today, I'm going to make today the best day I can, and I'm going to fill somebody's bucket with all the positivity that I can. And if you can say something that's going to make somebody feel good about themselves, you're going to attract that affection and that attention to yourself. And ultimately, giving feels better than receiving. When we were kids, waking up Christmas morning was the best thing in the world, right? Remember our birthdays? We'd wake up, that's my birthday. All these presents, and you wake up on Christmas morning, all these wrap boxes under the tree. It was so good. Or nowadays, as an adult, making somebody feel good about themselves, whether it's just simply coming in and telling you how beautiful your pink shirt looks.
Oh, thank you.
And how beautiful you are today. And doing things to others is what fills our hearts. And if we all had that kind of, direction in life, and we all understood that, this world would be such a better place. And not focusing on that third circle, the media, and all the distractions that are going on in our lives. I have no idea how this really applies to what you're talking about, to be honest with you. I just had to go on a little bit of a rant there, but I feel that you're totally right in the sense that this world is it's a beautiful place, and our lives get so taken off track from really what's important, and what's important is treating each other well and just moving forward.
Well, I think this whole conversation comes about with trusting people and in business, and you want to work with people that you trust. And trust is a hard thing to find these days, extremely hard to find. So I think just talking about business and success, that is such a huge thing, is finding authenticity and people that are in it for the right reasons. And in business in general, so many people, have a bottom line as how they run their business versus, am I doing the right thing? Am I being honest? Am I setting these people up for success? So that's I think that's where it was kind of coming from. And being an influencer, that's all I have, is people trusting me and going, well, if she's going to say that this is going to be good, then I trust that this is going to be good. And real estate too. Really, that's all you have.
Absolutely. I mean, yesterday, Brittany and I were on a listing appointment, and I even brought it up that we treat people like how we want to be treated. I think that was on a listing appointment, and when we were introducing ourselves, and she felt real comfortable with some testimonials and other things that we did. So we're going to.
Nobody wants to be hard sold. People need to feel really comfortable and safe. It's a very personal thing when you're buying a home, when you're selling a home. You love your home. You want to get the right money for it. You want to make sure that the person who is taking care of it really has your best interest at heart. Real estate is real estate. Selling a home is selling a home. Buying a home is buying a home. You like it? You want it? We buy it. Give or take, it's all about the same. It's all about connection. It's all about networking, trust. It's all of those things that really matter at the end of the day.
It does. And what's great about working with 72 Sold is not only are they meeting us, which is, we're lucky that we have a good team and everything else, but we have a great program.
Yeah. Selling a home, buying a home, it is what it is. At the end of the day, there are better ways to do that process that have been refined over time. And just going back 20 years, here's an example. Selling a home 20 years ago was you hired a realtor. That realtor would put an ad out in the newspaper. They would put an ad out into Homes Magazine that would come out on Thursdays, and the realtors would go get these magazines, and they'd sit down in the office, and then he'd send it out to your clients. They would circle the homes they want to see, and they'd get on the phone, and they would call those sellers, they call those agents, and you have to schedule an appointment to go see. Right? This is old school. Remember Auto Trader? It was kind of like Auto Trader magazine back in the day. Technology has advanced the process in such a spectacular way that now you just go on Zillow, you go on Redfin, you go on Realtor.com, you call your agent. They have an MLS, which is everything's all digital on there. Nationally, you could be sitting in Wisconsin and you'd be shopping for homes in Arizona or in California. So technology has advanced that process in a very positive and quick moving manner. But not only that, it stayed the same essentially. That's the problem. That's why it's so old school, is that other than the fact that now you're looking at homes on the internet, it's still the same old process. What do realtors do? They put a sign in your front yard. They hope people drive by the sign and remember the address or write it down or write the phone number down, or the fancy ones have a QR code. Great. They scan it. Then they hope that they call, they make an appointment. Hopefully they show up, right? Hopefully they show up, and then maybe they like the home, because what agents are actually showing up to these appointments where they're walking these buyers through the home and telling them not only about the features of the home and the upgrades of the home, but more importantly, the peripherals of the home, the things that maybe the buyer would never even be able to see by just walking through the property, like the way the sun sets in the evening time, or the trails and the walking path and all the features of the community and the events that they do on the weekends. So then these agents just walk through the home. No, you got stainless steel appliances. That's nice. You got tile flooring. That's great. Oh, nice countertops and upgraded cabinets, so on and so forth. But they don't really understand the home. They don't know about the home and all those extra features of the home. And then they hope they make an offer. And if the offer is, somewhat around what the asking price is, of course, in a buyer mindset, they want to get a little bit below what the asking price is, because they feel they got a deal. It's still all the same. It's still all the same. With our process, if you're looking to sell a home, it's completely different. This is a completely different model of being able to go out there and actually influence buyers to see how precious and special that the home is, by putting it on the market, by creating that curiosity, by drawing these buyers in, and then hopefully getting multiple people interested in the home in a non-traditional way, where we put these homes out there, create that curiosity, look at all the clicks and the shares and the likes and the saves and the calls and the texts and the emails and all the influences coming in, and drawing these buyers in to want to be in somewhat of a competitive style sale and go, hey, look, we're going to unveil this home publicly in the next week or so. And we're going to bring these buyers together. And instead of them beating you up on a price, we're going to let them kind of compete against each other, because ultimately something's worth what somebody's willing to pay. Would you agree? Is it a home? Is it a classic car? Is it some furniture? Is it artwork? Whatever it is, don't worry about what Zillow says your house is worth. Don't worry about what a realtor tells you it's worth or what an appraiser says it's worth. It doesn't matter.
Right.
The home is worth what somebody's willing to pay. What we want to do is feature the best aspects of your home, put those out there to every buyer that's in the market. And by the way, we're in 50 states. We're across the country. That's important. Sarah, what is it? 22% of buyers are in Arizona are from out of state. They're buying second homes. They're buying 28% of buyers in Arizona are from outside of Arizona. So What's local real estate? Put a sign in your front yard and hope somebody drives by the neighborhood and calls you? Ridiculous.
Well, and that's why my social media platform has now turned into real estate, right?
Yeah.
So I'm no dummy, right? So here I am. I'm my biggest states are New York, LA, and Arizona that follow me. And now here I am with 211,000 followers promoting real estate on my platform.
And we're so excited and always available to help you. And what Adam's trying to say, and what we do is we have a program that brings buyers and sellers in a competitive atmosphere.
Yeah.
So we're able to get the buyers the best deal as well as the sellers, and we do it quickly.
And what's important about this is it's not just thrown out there. It's not just put out on the MLS or put on the Zillow. This is all done underground. This is all done privately. This is your opportunity. If you're looking to move to Arizona or you're looking to move out of Arizona, it really doesn't matter. This is the best process to find really what true market value is for a home. And bring your best offer. Let us show you the value that you're getting. And then if this is a right home for you, then, we're going to put together the best opportunity for you to purchase that home without having to deal with the normal traditional selling process, dealing with realtors and dealing with, these long-term commitments and so on and so forth. It's a hassle. Arizona right now, I'll tell you what, if you're looking to move from California, if you're looking to move from the East Coast or whatever, this is, in my opinion, the best place to move to. I've lived here my entire life. I've moved out of Arizona. I came back. We are so blessed to live where we live here in the Valley. I mean,
where did you grow up?
I grew up, I was born here in Arizona.
No, but where did you grow up?
Tempe.
Okay.
I grew up, my parents both worked for ASU college out here. So I grew up kind of right around, in that area.
Yeah, see, I was born and raised in Scottsdale,
Oh, well,
and I'm 49.
hello, neighbor. Yeah, hello. Well, tons of development out here. Boy, I'll tell you what, Scottsdale was like this big.
Yeah,
when
it's
we were
tiny.
kids.
And my parents are native New Yorkers. So coming from New York City about 56 years ago, my dad, maybe 57 years ago,
Yeah.
a lot different.
Yeah. Where'd you go to high school?
Horizon.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I went to school in Tempe. I went to McClintock High School and ASU and watched. You don't even know Tempe anymore. Tempe.
I went to ASU too.
Did you? Mm-hmm. We must have hung out probably.
No, I'm a lot older than you.
But she looks great.
I mean, I'm 49 next month. How old are you?
43.
Yeah, we did not hang out. Positive.
So,
I was out of college in 96 and moved to San Francisco for 6 months, enough to know I don't want to live there.
yeah.
Right. And
Well, I'll tell you.
Sarah and I are from Chicago.
And we're all here for a reason.
That's right.
Arizona
Everybody's
really
moving here.
is the ultimate place to
Well, look, I mean, shoot, my dad 56, 57 years ago said, I don't want to be in New York. Where can I go? And he chose Arizona. And somehow he sucked my mom into moving out here. And my mom goes, I don't know, I must have really loved him to move from New York City to nothing.
Isn't it so funny that people think I talk to folks outside of Arizona all the time and they're like, they think that's like John Wayne, they think it's like the Wild West, like it's tumbleweeds blowing down the street.
They still think that for sure.
Yeah. Arizona is like, it's the most modern place. And I feel that I've been to. I mean, first of all, the streets are straight. We have landscape freeways. We're within an hour of where we're sitting right now in any direction of like 5 lakes. If you want, I think there's more boat owners here in Phoenix per capita than like California or Florida, because there's so many lakes and places to like take a boat to. You get in your car, you're just a few hours away from driving to Vegas. You're 2 hours away from going to the
Flagstaff
and snow and
We have a
Payson.
great lifestyle here. We have great shopping and restaurants.
The
And
shopping, listen, my parents, New Yorkers in the dress business. Yeah. Fashion has come a long way here.
Right.
But again, just as you said, to your point, you can be in Vegas shopping, you can be in LA shopping, you can in an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, you can be in LA, Vegas, San Diego. I mean, it's incredible.
And in 45 minutes to an hour in a car, you could be at 30 degrees cooler. People are like, oh, it's so hot in Phoenix. And we had this heat wave. It's 110 degrees for like 900 days straight or whatever it was. But honestly, it's hot, but we all have AC. You know what I mean?
But it's hot everywhere. It's hot everywhere. This is the thing I don't get is it's hot everywhere. Take humidity and your heat is the same as ours.
Right. True.
Right. And on top of that, you're right. We can get out of here. Plus, I feel like Arizona becomes a ghost town, which is kind of nice because really Arizona shuts down for the summer. So everybody gets a real vacation. Go somewhere cooler. Go visit your family. Everything is so well air conditioned. I have a sweater on me at all times.
Yeah. So, but I really, I just love where we live. I think this is just a wonderful part of our country. I don't think that there's no sunshine state in the country that like we have without like problems, right? I mean, think about it. California's got sunshine, but you got earthquakes and crime, and it's California.
Well,
We
this
got Florida,
summer, California had horrible weather. It was cloudy and foggy like the entire summer. They did not have a lot of sun. It was
Right.
cold.
Yeah.
Brittany, what do you like about Arizona?
I think all these things are great. I think one of my favorite things is just that, you can take a walk anywhere. You always feel safe. You never feel like, oh my God, I need to watch my shoulder for anything. Like sometimes at like dusk, I keep my headphones in, listen to a great podcast. Holly's Arizona Lifestyle, who knows? And I don't need to worry. Like I never need to feel like, oh my God, there's someone behind me. Like there's always usually people around, but it doesn't really matter. I never feel like I'm in Chicago and there's all these murders happening or anywhere else. Like it feels super safe here wherever you are. And of course you have to watch yourself wherever you are, but it does feel very safe.
So here's my question for you though. Being that you're 23 and were you born here?
I was
You were
born and
here.
raised here.
So do you ever have the itch just to move just because you haven't lived anywhere else?
For sure. I have like friends, I had this, I've great friends. And all since then, you know, since college, I have friends in Chicago, I have friends in California, I have friends in Iowa, like everyone dispersed everywhere. And then they all come back here. Like, it's crazy to me. It's not even a joke. My best friend from Chicago, she was here for a week. She just left this morning and she's like, God, I just need to move back here. I live in Chicago. My rent is $4,000. I was thinking about it. I was like, I could buy a condo here and my rent could be half the price. And I was like, let's do that. And she's like, I know, I need to get rid of my job. I need to get rid of my boyfriend and I need to start my new life again.
Sounds like a plan.
I was like, that sounds great. But, you know, it's just the truth. You know, it's a really great lifestyle here. You can live inexpensively. Like, you know, we were talking about taxes there. Her taxes are insane just to own a car. You know, it's insane. It's
Right. And I said, I moved to San Francisco right out of college. I got a job, knew nobody, moved there. I've never lived anywhere but Arizona. All of a sudden, I'm parallel parking everywhere. You have to pay to park everywhere.
Right.
You drive around for a parking spot for 45 minutes. And when you've never done that before, and now all of a sudden you're like, it's taking me, it's a 2.5 hour trip. Get this. You might not even know what this is, to go to Blockbuster, to rent a movie. You do know what that means?
I loved Blockbuster. I was born in the 2000s.
I know. As I'm like thinking about this, I'm like, okay, wait, my kids did get Blockbuster, but like, you know, I'm like, this isn't worth it to drive 2.5 hours, right? To find a parking spot, to go in, to get my movie and popcorn, then get back in the car, then drive around for another 45 minutes. I was like, I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to do anything. I don't care. I don't have food in the fridge. I guess I'm just going to starve tonight because it was just too much effort to do anything.
Right.
And here you pull up front row parking wherever you want to go, whenever you want to go. There's not traffic. It's great, right?
Yeah, it's definitely an easy lifestyle here. And, you know, you have to think about it sometimes like, we're all going to be our age one time. You know, you're only going to live once. Why don't you live the dream life, live it up, have the greatest life, and, you know, you can be anywhere and have a great life. But, you know, why don't make it, you know, even better with having the sunshine, having low living expenses, and being in a place where it just feels good and comfortable and safe, you know?
Well stated, I think. Yeah.
Well stated. So, you know, we hope to have a lot of phone calls, people wanting to come move to Arizona, and you can reach me at 602-388-0319. Adam, I, and Brittany are always available to help you with your real estate needs. And now Julie.
Yeah, there you go. Always here to connect. Always here to connect. That's the thing. So if you're looking for something specific, I can definitely connect you. Obviously, this is a great team that knows what they're doing, so that's great too. And that's kind of why I wanted to do it. I was like, do I actually want to be on the front line, you know, taking people around to sell houses, or do I want to be the connector? Because that's really what I am. Is I'm a connector. I help connect people to great people. That's what I do.
And you're great at it.
Thanks. That's what I do all day long.
You're great at it. Everyone's got their special niche.
That's right.
That's right. And I'm so glad that you were able to come on and that we're still connected. And
I know, it's
definitely
awesome.
one of my favorite people out
Oh,
there.
thank you. I love that. Yeah. And it's so good to see your daughter all grown up.
Thank you.
I know. The boys were very young when they were together.
Crazy. It's
Yes.
crazy. Time is a crazy thing. I say they can get older. We're not.
That's right.
Going backwards like Benjamin Button.
There we go.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us. And until next week, you can always reach us at Arizona Lifestyles with Holly Waxman at 72 Sold. Bye for now.